Hello and welcome to Atomic Kingdom. My name is Dave. I don't know what voice this is. It's a bit of accents and Daffy Duck, a little New Zealand in there. Maybe Australian. Yeah, it's more Australian. I wish I could do a New Zealand accent. Be great. Let me hang out with Korg, with some porgs.
All right, there, Stephen.
No, it's a better accent than Steven's. Steven was a child when he created his. I'm a man. I'm a man. Welcome into Atomic Kingdom. My name is Dave. I hope you're hearing everything loud and clear. We've had some audio issues, with my voice being loud, Kyle's voice being silent. Speaking of, joining me today, as per the usual, it's Kyle.
Hey, what is up, everyone? I hope you're staying cool because, boy, am I not.
Okay, we need to not talk about weather anymore on this podcast. We do it way too often. Yes, it's a thing. We deal with it, and now it's summer all of a sudden. Spring lasted all of never, and now it's summer.
It's an everyday thing. We are allowed to talk about it.
No, it's dumb. Nobody wants to talk about the weather. Aside from the weather, Kyle, how are you?
Doing well. More awake than I was at all day. But yeah, let's do this. Let's talk. Let's talk geek news. Let's talk our topics, and let's get going. Yeah.
What geek news do you want to talk about?
Oh boy, what geek news I actually.
So I really didn't. I didn't prepare any geek news. I thought we'd spend most of the day talking about the movie that is Doctor Strange.
Well, I mean that is geek news. I assume. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's less than a week since it's been out. I mean, you can listen for a little while. We'll let you know when we start talking about it. But if you haven't seen it yet and you won't want to be spoiled, there's your warning. We're going to be spoilerific, and we're going to do a little bit of Moon Knight later. We're probably just going to grade it. Excuse me, not going to talk too much about it in depth as far as what happened in the episode and recap anything like that. We're just going to talk about it and maybe articulate where we think it's headed in the future, as far as the Moon Knight character and Phase 4 of Marvel as it is. Okay, so we both saw the movie. Before we get into spoilers, so people can still talk and listen. What would you give the movie grade? So this is the non-spoilery talk of the Doctor Strange movie.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite MCU movie right now? And why is it Spider-Man? No, Far From Home.
Captain America,
Excuse
the
me,
Winter Soldier.
Excuse me, No Way Home. I figured it would be your favorite. Wow, really?
Yeah, it still is. It's still, you can't really top what they did in that movie.
Pardon my allergies, folks. Sorry. I took a pill. It's not kicked in yet.
The fact that they had Hydra in there the whole time, and it was underneath Shield, was fantastic.
Do you think the fact that Agents of Shield picked up where that left off helped?
Yes.
Because you and I and a lot of hardcore fans were watching Agents of Shield along with the movies and stuff every week.
Yes. So I got to see an advanced screening of Winter Soldier, and if I remember correctly, for me it went Winter Soldier, then the first episode of that two-parter of Agents of Shield, and then I had to wait a whole week for that second part. So I was kind of.
And so was it the cliffhanger where dude turned?
Yes, where
Ward.
Yes,
Ward. Yeah.
So it was like
I don't know why that guy doesn't get more work. That guy's a good actor, by the way. I'm just gonna throw it out there. He did a Christian movie with Shawn Michaels that I thought was really good.
I saw the trailer for it, but
it's a good movie.
when Sitwell is turned in the movie, and you
turned
see,
or turned
both.
When he turned heel.
Yeah, when you turned heel. Then you're just watching that whole episode being like, you son of a bitch. I know what you're going to do. And you're like,
let me do this. Go ahead, keep talking.
But yeah, Winter Soldier, although it didn't follow the the storyline to a T, like it does in the comics. I thought it was a very, very good adaptation of it. I mean, you still got aspects of Bucky in there, which you do in the comic, and you get
Hmm.
a fight between Cap and Winter Soldier.
I think the only thing you didn't end up getting from in in the Infinity War timeline, I guess, and maybe you will still. I mean, you still could. I don't know what her age is technically with Yelena, but you never got the Cap Scarlet with or Scarlett Johansson, the Cap Winter Soldier Black Widow relationship,
Yeah,
which I think was always I always thought that was cool, and I thought that'd be good. But you had certain directors and writers taking her down the Captain America road, then this weird Hulk road. When I thought her storyline in particular, I don't want to get weird. It didn't need a romance. I don't think any of these stories really. I think Caps had a particular storyline that was good with the romance with the Carter family. I guess if you want to get weird
yeah.
with it. And then Hulk. I just don't know why they didn't recast Betty. Or Betsy. I always forget which one it is.
It's Betty.
Um, that's Betty. Yeah, it's either Betty or Betsy when it comes to Marvel. Um, so like I never understood why they just didn't recast her or just bring Liv Tyler in for crying out loud. And I guess I still wish Ed Norton was still around. I love Ed Norton, and don't get me wrong, I like Mark Ruffalo, but anyway. Okay, so again, we're gonna stay non-spoiler here. We're still talk MCU. What is your let's see, let me just going movie wise. Give me your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Rank the 5 phase 4 films that are out right now. So that's in
Um,
order. That's in order. Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I always want to say Mouth of Madness, and it has nothing to do with
I keep
skillets or
I keep seeing on TikTok mom, and I'm like,
mom. I love
well,
that.
you're not
I
wrong.
love that for so many reasons. I love that.
I will have to go No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Eternals.
Okay. I tweeted this week. I think somebody tweeted it out, and I didn't realize it was Phase 4. I just thought it was people trying to cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let me make sure I'm towing the brand. I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Let's see here. Where's my tweet? Where's the tweet? Oh, there's some news for you. Ahsoka started production yesterday.
Yep.
With Disney Plus. So that is some exciting news. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, it is Phase 4. Okay, my ranking is No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Mom. I typed it Mom that way, by the way. Eternals, and then Black Widow. My thing with Black Widow is I didn't mind the movie. I never mind them making a movie. Whether it needs to be made or not, that's arguable, but it's not for us to decide anyway. We're gonna get it, so watch it,
Right.
or don't. It's up to you. Black Widow, it takes place in the past. We know what's gonna happen. We get introduced to new characters, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed her family. I liked the look of Taskmaster a lot, and I hope there's still more they can do with that character. As a bad guy, I don't want that character to be reformed, although that woman deserves to be reformed, or live her life. But I like the Taskmaster character a lot, and I would love that character to be brought back. But introduced us to Yelena, who I think is going to be amazing in the future of the MCU if allowed to. But I don't know what age they're portraying her as, because we have this young Avengers thing happening, but I don't know how young they're doing it, because you look at America Chavez as a teenager. Miss Marvel is a teenager, right?
She's in high school during her show. I think so. Yes.
Right. And then Haley
You got
Steinfeld's character is in college or graduating college.
yeah, and Patriot is I want to say college age.
Patriot.
Yep. Yeah, you saw him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He
Oh yeah, his partner,
yeah.
the dude's buddy.
No. Bradley, the like the first black super soldier, his grandson is Patriot in the comics.
Well, who was the dude that was helping him in the military? That guy just becomes something too.
Dead.
Dead.
It's a joke
The
because
hell?
he's dead.
That's not very nice. I have to find it now because he's an actual Marvel
He is
character.
an actor. I can't.
Joaquin Torres, first lieutenant in the Air Force.
Oh yes, he does become Patriot. He does become Patriot to Sam's Cap.
Yeah. All right then.
And
That's
then
not the dude that was with the first.
No, but Eli is in the show.
Yes.
And then you also got the twins.
Yep. Who are we yeah. Right.
Yeah, I actually.
And then he's old, but he's the size of a child. You got Pip the Troll. That was a joke. Everybody, comedy. Yeah. For our one listener, our one viewer who's watching us live, that was not funny.
That's okay.
Okay, so yeah, that's our rankings. I think those are decent. So No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Multiverse
our top
of
three were about the same.
Yeah, and they can interchange, depending on my mood. I still want to see Multiverse of Madness again to kind of get the shock value off. Yeah. Although what?
I mean, I've seen a lot of scenes.
Just watch TikTok.
Just watch TikTok. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, I can watch this now. Thank God.
Man, dude, talk about breaking the rules. How are these people like? They went after downloaders of torrents and movies and stuff. How are TikTokers not getting in trouble?
I don't know.
I don't understand. That's licensed material. That's not for rebroadcast, right? I mean, I guess there's not really a warning before the movie starts.
No, but
about piracy.
Everyone
isn't it like implied in the movie ticket sale? Or I don't know how that works. It's still piracy, right? Even if it's a clip, it's still considered.
Piracy,
I'm not.
Yeah. Well,
don't look at me. I'm not a cop, and I'm not going to turn you if you do any of this kind of stuff. But
I don't know what it is anymore because I mean, you might be using it for monetary gain,
right?
So
they absolutely are. They absolutely are. That's what I'm going to say. Most TikTokers are using it for the clicks and the likes and the shares and whatever the hell. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can hear that for sure. So yeah, you heard that. Anyway, let's take a look here. Let me take a look at some notes I've been making all week. If there's anything worth talking about, or I can just save it for our next Geek Out episode. No. There's one main thing we should talk about, and there's a couple other things. Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Cast their new Doctor. It kind of came out of nowhere. I had no idea this announcement was coming. I still need to catch up on this Jodie Whittaker run as the 13th Doctor. I knew she was closing it out, and I know it hasn't been doing very well, and that makes me sad. Just the first couple episodes I watched were good. But yeah, anyway, boy, this man's name.
All I know he's from Sex Education, and I have yet to watch it. But
no, is that a Hulu thing or Netflix? That's Hulu,
Netflix
right?
Thing.
Is it Netflix? Okay, I know there's no Pen 15. That's on Hulu. That's basically the same thing, I think. Okay, so I'm going to use Wikipedia's pronunciation thing. Shoti Gatwa is what it is, the phonetic way that this thing shows me how to say it. Hopefully I said that right. He will be the 14th Doctor, and that is the first Black actor to play the Doctor. So good for him. He's a Rwandan man from the UK. And like you said, he has been in Sex Education. And that's really all. He's going to be in the Barbie movie.
Okay.
But yeah, he was cast as a Doctor they announced it, but he was cast in February. The second to play an incarnation overall, following Joe Martin's appearance as the fugitive Doctor. He is expected to take over the role in the third and final of the 2022 specials in October. so not too far away. So she's going out the same way that I think Tenet went out. Tenet went out with a bunch of specials. He didn't go out with like a season.
No.
Um, so yeah.
Although honestly, the of the more recent Doctors, David Tennant's hits hardest.
I bought his series or his run on Blu-ray because it's David Tennant. He is my favorite Doctor.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite actors, and
I liked Matt Smith as the Doctor.
Matt Smith's great too. Yeah,
Peter
absolutely.
Capaldi, I couldn't really get into.
He was okay, and having finally watched it all the way through, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It was all right. It wasn't. It's going to be hard coming after two heavy hitters like Tennant and Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And the relationship he had with those companions. Capaldi's relationship with his companion, it was weird to me. And that companion didn't really work, even though she did a great job. I don't know. Clara, yeah.
Okay.
What was the one after Clara? Was it before Clara?
B. It starts with a B, maybe.
Was it a black girl?
Yeah, it was a black girl. Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying. I don't say it to be racist. It's just how I remember it. I'm seeing their picture, her face in my head with them, of course, running. And Russell T Davies is returning. He's the one that brought this all back. With a very different Doctor.
There was a lot of rumors about David Tennant coming back as the Doctor, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
They did the same thing when she was announced too. They thought that was going to happen too. That they'd bring Tennant back. And it did not happen. I think it's always going to happen because they want him back.
Right. I mean, I think he'll come back for like a anniversary special,
which he's done. Him and Matt Smith, both came back to be to have three Doctors on the screen at the same time.
Yeah.
Which was pretty great. But yeah, Russell T Davies is returning to the series he brought back. His first Doctor, I still think he's I guess my generation's Doctor. I didn't watch the Doctor Who show when I was growing up because it was on ABC or PBS, excuse me, and I always thought it looked boring. It was like a rainy Saturday thing, like nothing's on TV. Whose Line just ended because Whose Line used to be played on PBS. The British version. The British version.
Yeah.
Okay. The OG version. And then we got this Doctor Who I just rewatched because I've got this weird thing right now where I want to watch 90s and 2000s movies because of their trailers. Basically because of their trailers and the voice, the voice guy.
In a world.
Right, which he never says. He never says that in any trailer. He's maybe said it in a couple like apocalyptic ones, but it was gone in 60 seconds. He doesn't say it in that trailer. It's like anyway, I watched Gone in 60 Seconds, and the bad guy, who is great bad guy, was played by Christopher Eccleston, who was the rebirth of the Doctor.
Nice Doctor.
Yep. And I think he was a good Doctor. I enjoyed. He's a mean Doctor for sure, but he also had heart.
Right. But I mean, then you get into the time of the Doctor, that the 50th anniversary special. You realize why his Doctor was mean because of the War Doctor with
right
John. Oh Lord, Sir John.
You can do it.
I can't. Alien.
Four letters. Four letters.
Four letters. Okay. A.
When you're in pain, you are
agony.
No, four letters. When you're in pain, you're considered. Mom, I got blank today in the park.
John Hurt.
There you go.
Oh, Sir John Hurt. And then you see him regenerate into start to see him, Christopher Eccleston, which was great that was added in there. So
Rose.
Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, Bad Wolf girl. Did you just say Bad Wolf?
Yeah, Doctor Who. I gotta finish. Maybe that's what I'll do soon.
I need to. Well, they just dropped a trailer for Westworld season 4 today. So
I haven't watched that yet. I
I
gotta
need
watch
to,
that.
I want to go back and rewatch season 3 because that was two,
It was a while ago.
3 years ago. But that's because of COVID and everything.
Yeah. I waited a while. I think I just moved when I started watching it, and I just got into this place when I started watching that one. Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah, it kind of dropped out of nowhere, and it's like it's coming out next month, and it's like
yeah, and new Game of Thrones too, the prequel, which I have no interest in, and I would only watch it for Matt Smith really at this point.
I'll watch the first episode if it reels
Yeah.
me in. Sure, great. If not, I'll watch it when the full season's aired.
I'll let you talk about it. This kind of Doctor Strange material. The trailer for Avatar appeared before our very eyes. What do you
Why?
think?
Why are you talking? Why are you letting me talk about it? It didn't. It doesn't need to happen. Although I can pretty much say almost anything that we like that people don't like doesn't need to happen. But seriously, this movie, the first movie that I haven't seen and will never see, came out what 2008, 2009.
Good freaking question. Let me see.
But either way,
2009.
2009. That's
And it
still
was the biggest movie of all time for till I think the first
quite a
Avengers.
while. No, Avengers Endgame.
No, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Avengers beat it. I'm pretty sure.
Avengers
Hang on, I'm
Infinity War
looking it up.
was number 2.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm looking it up.
And then Endgame beat Avatar with $2 billion. But
oh Jesus, no! Avatar is still the lifetime highest grossing movie of all time.
Is that because of inflation?
Well,
because
most
they
likely
re-released it for some odd reason.
Probably a bit of that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
they're going to be re-releasing Avatar again before this movie comes
of course they freaking are. Why wouldn't they? Yeah, and it's obviously inflation's in here because there's a couple of very old movies in here. So you've got Avatar at 2.8 billion, Avengers Endgame at 2.7, almost 8 billion, Titanic. I don't understand that one. I just don't. I don't think I ever saw it in the theater, and that was my high school years.
I did see it in theaters, and I was in grade school.
At a second updated release. Oh, you're in grade school? What the hell?
In grade school, it came out in '97. I was first grade was '95, so third or fourth grade.
2 Cameron movies in the top 5, but
I know
us geeks. There's three geek movies in here. I mean, I guess Avatar would be considered maybe it's a sci-fi fantasy, so that's a geek movie. Number 4 is Star Wars: Force Awakens. Number 5, Infinity War. Number 6, No Way Home. 7 is Jurassic World. Wow. Okay. Number 8 is The Lion King, the 2019 version.
Interesting.
Wow. Number 9 is The Avengers, so it's in the top 10.
Okay.
Number 10 is Furious 7. Why that one?
Because of Paul Walker.
Is that the last Paul Walker one?
That's the last Paul Walker one. And sad to say, I contributed to that one.
Yeah, that's the one where Deckard Shaw is the villain, and all of a sudden we're supposed to think he's a good guy now.
I still need to. Just because I still want to watch F9 just to see how crazy and why they go to space.
I don't freaking care.
I know you don't care. It's.
Want to hear something? Want to hear something crazy though?
What's number?
So no, it's not that. Of all of these movies, there's the Jurassic Parks of it all, the Disney cartoons, the Disney live action movies, the Star Warses. There is one DC movie in the top 25, and it is not a Batman movie.
It's Aquaman.
Yeah. What the hell is that about?
So wait, Aquaman. That's right, because Aquaman was the first. No, I thought Wonder Woman would have been.
Unless I breezed past it when I was skimming. No, she's not in the top 25. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to do this quickly because we need to talk about other stuff. Where was I? Okay, so Furious 7 is 10, 11, Frozen 2, 12, Age of Ultron, 13, Black Panther, 14, Deathly Hallows 2, 15, The Last Jedi, 16, Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World, 17, the first Frozen. 18, Beauty and the Beast live action. 19, Incredibles 2. 20, The Fate of the Furious. 21, Iron Man 3. Ugh. 22, Minions. 23, Civil War. 24, Aquaman. Minions. Hang on, I just breezed past that. Minions.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I like the Despicable Me movies, but the Minions thing was anyway. It's like a TV show as a movie. 25, the only Lord of the Rings entry, Return of the King. 26 is Far From Home. 27 is Captain Marvel. 28, Transformers: Dark of the Moon. 29, the only James Bond entry, Skyfall. 30, Age of Extinction, Transformers. 31, the original Jurassic Park. Here we go. 32, The Dark Knight Rises. At just over $1 billion. Again, that's 2012.
Where's Dark Knight on that list? It has to be.
I'll scroll in a second. 33 is Joker. So Dark Knight is 49. The Hobbit beat it.
Oh damn.
Frickin' Zootopia beat it. More people saw Zootopia than The Dark Knight in the theater. Batman Dawn of Justice is 73. Didn't make $1 billion. Wonder Woman is 85.
Shit.
Breaking Dawn Part 2 did better. The original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire did better than her. Venom did better than something called Wolf Warrior 2 did better than Revenge of the Sith. What is this list?
Hold on.
It's a Chinese movie. Okay, it's a Chinese import. Okay,
Wolf
okay.
Warrior 2.
Yeah.
I kind of now want to. I just from that title.
Here's the synopsis. Ready? China's deadly.
Frank Grillo is in it.
Hang on. China's deadliest special forces operative settles into a quiet life on the sea. When sadistic mercenaries begin targeting nearby civilians, he must leave his newfound peace behind and return to his duties as a soldier and protector. Maybe it's not a Chinese import. I just saw China and I thought cast and crew.
So
it's totally produced in China.
Yeah. It's got
Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo's character name is Big Daddy,
and it's also got Selena Jade in it, which, as we know from the Arrowverse, is Shadow.
Yeah, her name in the movie is Rachel. Just Rachel.
Rachel.
God. All right. Let's move on. That's a crazy. That list is nutty. Don't think about it too long. Kevin Feige has been asked a lot of questions this week. Probably a lot he didn't want to or didn't expect to answer. But one of them is, why did they change Ms. Marvel's powers? In the comics, Kamala Khan's powers are a lot like Mr. Fantastic's, Richard Reed's. She gets all stretchy. Right?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
She has she has polymorphic stretching powers, which she broke in the comics in 2014, Reed Richards in 1961. But when she makes her live action debut on Disney Plus in the Ms. Marvel show, they tweaked her. Now, let's see, they did that because Marvel's developing Fantastic Four reboot and don't want to introduce two stretching superheroes in the same time frame. Regardless, Feige hinted, this from Superhero Hype, I'm reading directly from it, so I should give them credit. Regardless, Feige hinted that it's a bit more complicated than that. Specifically, the origin of the powers might relate to the overarching storyline that ties all Phase 4 projects together. Quote, Kamala came about in a very specific time within the comic book continuity. She is now coming into a very specific time within the MCU continuity. Those two things didn't match. What we will learn about her powers and where they came from and how they came about is specific to the MCU. If you want big, giant hands and arms, well, they're here in spirit, if not in stretchy plastic type ways. I get it. I also understand why why people are upset. But at the same time, is it really the powers that matter? If they nail the character, who cares?
If they nail the character, that's great. From what I've seen, yeah, they are the bracelets, but I think the bracelets are also going to tie into what happened in Shang-Chi. So that makes sense within the MCU. Inhumans didn't do well show wise, so they're
Right.
trying a different route. If they
We won't
wanted
have.
to,
So we're not gonna have to wait long. End of this month, June 8th is when the show debuts. We'll be done. No, we'll be in the middle of Obi-Wan madness at that point.
yeah. Speaking of Obi-Wan Madness, the new Obi-Wan figure is up for pre-order tomorrow.
Yeah, I got the pre-order email from Entertainment Earth today. But go to entertainmentearth.com, kids, for all your toys and figures and statues and collectible needs.
Not sponsored.
Feige, kind of. We're affiliates. if I give you a link, if I give you guys a link, click it and buy that product from that link. I've not ever done the links on the website, TommyKing.com. Click them there. There's ads there for Entertainment Earth. Feige said when talking about the future of the character and how it drives her plot forward, it taps into the future of her story and as it connects to her other friends that she will meet in the upcoming film, The Marvels. Excuse me. She's interested in knowing, great, does that mean I'm an Asgardian? Did I get hit with gamma rays? Sounds like a quote from the show. No, it's seemingly none of those things. It goes to her own past and her heritage and lineage. So it's more important. You know, how she got the powers is more important than what the powers actually are.
Mhm.
Would I be, I had to think about it. Would I be pissed off if they changed Gambit's powers? They kind of did in Wolverine.
Yeah.
And it didn't bother me. It was just the use of him that bothered me. And I don't blame the actor. I blame the writer and the producer of the film. But it's just being out of touch with the character. I don't care about the powers. If Iron Man was in a wheelchair and didn't have a suit of armor, it was still Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man or being Tony. I don't care. It's still gonna be cool.
Mhm.
And I'm still gonna want to watch him. Now he's not gonna be flying around, or maybe he can figure out a way to do it. I mean, he did it for his boy Rhodey. But like, if you take away the suit of armor, what is he? He's still fun to watch. That's what I'm going to say. We'll tweak that line. Did you get that reference? It's from Avengers.
Oh.
From Avengers when he's fighting Captain America and Captain America is, take away the suit of armor. What do you got? And he's like a millionaire genius.
Genius billionaire.
Yeah.
Genius billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Yeah. Come on. And then I also did. I got that reference. I kind of tweaked that one and stole it.
I understood that reference.
See. You're getting it. You know. Let's talk for a second. What's your favorite meme? Because I bet you it's mine.
The one that I use every day.
What do you use every day? What is that one?
Tony going, I did it. You didn't watch me. It's just Tony in the first Avengers where he goes.
Okay.
Because it's the most happy.
Mine is Leonardo DiCaprio. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because you got to do the whistle too. The whistle part is the best part. I love it. Anytime they do it, like I was talking to a friend of mine on Twitter about an actor who's from Mad TV, and I said anytime I see a Mad TV actor show up in a sitcom or something, I think of that Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, oh, there it is.
So okay,
I love Mad TV.
Piggybacking off of that, have you seen Halloween Kills?
No.
Okay, I will leave it.
Do I need to?
Of course you do. It's Halloween.
I actually went to the theater and saw Halloween. I think the remake. Yeah, I totally did.
Yeah, 2018. I definitely saw it in theaters, and then
I think that was a Movie Pass. That's probably a Movie Pass thing or AMC.
Maybe Halloween Kills was a Peacock thing, so I'm like, I'm not.
It's probably still there, so I can still catch it.
I'm not paying to watch this in the theater. I'll watch it in the comfort of my own home, where I could pause and worry about buffering issues. Greg Marcus, yeah, I'm looking at you. On a screen this big.
Yeah, dude. When I got nothing else going on, that's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Dick.
But hey, thank you for having movie.
I also can't take the movie to the toilet with me when I'm in the theater.
Exactly.
Did I share too much? Do we share too much, America or world internet?
No, please.
Which okay, all right. Any other headline? Yeah. Legendary comic book artist, second one in 2 weeks. George Perez passed away. Mm-hmm. We've lost another legend of the golden age of comics. Let's just call it. Anything before now, I think comic books are tough right now. I'm just gonna say it that way. I hope you're reading comics. I hope you're enjoying them. It's just I'm having a hard time finding a book to enjoy. But
So
anyway,
I went to 2 comic book shops over the past couple days to look for one comic.
yes, happy belated free comic book day, everybody.
Batman Beyond the White Knight sold out in 2 locations. And I'm like, well, that sucks, but I'm also glad it's selling out because that means people are buying that issue and reading it. It sucks for me because I want to read it.
Yeah.
And yes, I know I could just do like Comixology or anything, but I'm like, no, I want the physical.
Yeah, you could.
I want the physical comic. I want to have that page turn and everything.
Yeah. Real quickly but respectfully, George Perez did the cover of the first Infinity Gauntlet comic book. It's got the glove and just different pictures of Thanos and Mephisto and Death and Silver Surfer, Hulk, and kind of fractured images, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, that kind of stuff. He also did the Crisis on Infinite Earths with Superman's holding the dead body of Supergirl. Great cover. He did the New Teen Titans #1 cover where you've got the whole team running towards the front of the book, running at the reader, so to speak. Just a lot of great work. Justice League of America covers. He did both companies, Marvel and DC. He did the Astonishing Tales, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. He will be missed. He was a great artist and one I never met at any conventions. So
yeah.
One of the producers or writers of Legends of Tomorrow said Booster Gold was an effort to save the show.
I have thoughts on this. They should have brought him in earlier then.
I agree. The finale, really? That's your last ditch effort?
Like, you could have sprinkled him in, just have him in the background, like for every show, every episode, and then like gear up towards the end, like have him more prominent, featured, and then at the end being like, okay, I'm Booster Gold, I'm Michael.
Yeah.
I think that would have drawn more people into it. That would have drawn me back into it for sure, because they just released issue 3 of 6 for this Earth Prime crossover, and their story that they had in there was supposed to set up for season 8, and it was a very good story. And I'm like, if you do this, you guys would have hooked me back, because you had superheroes, you had them doing hero stuff and not just time travel. That's kind of where Legends kind of fell off for me, is when they stopped being superheroes and just time travelers.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just my 2 cents on someone who used to do this. Talk about it weekly.
I missed this comment when I think we were talking about comic books. Jenny jumped in and said Something is Killing the Children for the Win, I think is a book she's recommending to all y'all.
Comic.
Yeah. For everybody to go listen to. Last thing before we start talking about movies, or the movie, Dwayne Johnson has confirmed that Black Adam is doing reshoots and has revealed the new suit image, which you can see on his Instagram. But let's see.
It looks cool.
Yeah, intense week of production continues as we put the finishing touches on Black Adam. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of playing some great fun characters over the years. None speak to my DNA more than the anti-hero known as the Man in Black, Teth Adam. Rage against the dying of the light. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, I'm getting an echo now. Why are you doing that?
Echo.
There's that. Yeah, fine. Log me in. I don't care. All right. Share. Sorry, those of you listening to the show. We want a Chrome tab. We want that one. Bow.
Pew.
So yeah, there it is. Looks pretty cool.
Do you think he'll eventually get his cape?
CG.
You think it's CG? Okay.
Yeah. CG, something hopefully we have time and I remember to talk about in this review.
Okay.
Because Yeah. All right. Let's get rid of that there. Goodbye, Instagram. Goodbye, news articles. Moon Knight, very quickly. Let's talk about it. What did you think of the series as a whole? Not
As a whole,
as you're an a-hole, but as a whole.
on the inside, um,
Um,
I enjoyed it. It's not a strong. I don't think it's a strong series as like Cap, as like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, but I still enjoyed it.
WandaVision,
I
WandaVision.
The critiques. I mean, for a show about Moon Knight, there's very little Moon Knight in it. Again, just a critique. But I did love the personalities. And him and Oscar dealing with it. He did a phenomenal job doing both Steven and Mark. Uh, Even sometimes just flipping right back and forth between them. It was great. I will watch this series again.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the final episode. I really enjoyed what they did
The
with
last two. The last
yeah.
two were really
The
strong.
last three. Actually, yeah, the last two. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
say,
really.
oh yeah. Episode 4 is where everything changes. No, episode 5 is where everything changes.
But to be fair, I really enjoyed the whole series. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was a series where I didn't need to be like, oh, I wonder if this is gonna happen. I wonder if they're gonna do this. I didn't have to theorize too much. Sometimes that can be fun. We talked about a lot with the Cloverfield stuff, trying to get involved in the mystery of it all. Whereas just sitting back and looking for the Easter eggs is fun,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like a job. I don't have to take to Twitter the second I see this hieroglyph and say it means this, or I went and I scanned that QR code and it showed me a comic book which has nothing to do with the show. It's just, hey, here's a free comic,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. Integrated marketing, but like at the same time, I want to just kind of enjoy the show. And do my Leonardo DiCaprio when I see something cool. And then go tell my friends, hey, did you see that? Did you catch that? That was pretty cool. Back like when they did that with what's his name? Oh yeah, Sam Jackson showing up in the Iron Man credits. Like, did you stay to the end? Like, no, why would I ever stay till the end of a movie? Ever. And that was early 2000s, Dave, and America. Nobody stayed till the end of the movies back then. Every so often it happened, like Ferris Bueller and certain other movies, where something would happen at the end of a movie, but never would you would hear about it, through. I was watching the VHS, I fell asleep, and I woke up, and there was a scene at the end of the movie. That's how you heard. That's how you found out about that crap. And then I'm like, oh, I got to go see this. And at that time, I think YouTube was a thing, so I was able to find it on YouTube, or I might have went and just saw it again, or at that time pulled a DVD or something. I don't remember what. Then I just jumped on Google and searched, hey, are they making another movie? And then it says in the pipeline is the Incredible Hulk or something like that. And back in the days of like moviepoopshoot.com. God, that's a Jane Bot Silent Bob reference. What was it? That was Ain't It Cool News, I think, was the popular website back in the day.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That's the character that they make fun of in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back. Or no, Fanboys. It's the big fat guy that the dude that's what is his name? Mouse, I think, is dating online as his little sister. She's like 12 years old. Anyway, good movie, Fanboys, underrated. Go check that out.
It's been a while since I've seen
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, I'll plug the website at the end, Jenny. Calm down. I always do. But yeah, okay, so we talked about it at the beginning of this. Your Phase 4 TV shows, there's 6 of them. I will list them. You will grade them. I will go first, so I'll give you time if you need to write them down. In case you cannot recall them. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, and Moon Knight. I guess, yeah, Moon Knight counts. It's over. It's completed. Yeah. So for me, I said I go first.
Mm-hmm.
5 for me is, oh man, this is tough. I loved all of these shows. So when I give it a 5, they're all like 1A, 2, 1B, 1C. Like I loved a lot of these shows, and I would rewatch all of them. But I guess the one I would rewatch probably the least is Falcon and Winter Soldier. That is a really fun buddy cop action show. Which if I needed to, see some cool fight scenes and laugh, I would watch that. I'd throw that on and binge that. 5 would be Hawkeye. 4 would be What If, Loki, Moon Knight, WandaVision. I just loved WandaVision and how different it was. They really took a swing with that show. And it was really entertaining. All right, your turn.
I'm going to start with number 1. It's going to be very controversial, I think. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh my god!
I love
so controversial.
Well, a lot of people don't like that show, and you just said that
it's because they're racists.
Your least, in quotes, least favorite,
right,
of it. But I love those characters. I have a stronger relationship with those characters than I did with Wanda or Vision, honestly. Second would be WandaVision. Third would be Loki. 4. Oh, this is where it gets tough. Hawkeye, Moon Knight, What If.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think that works. All right, let's move on. Oh, Moon Knight. Is it going to get a season 2?
I hope so, because they left it wide open.
The ending was wide open for what a lot of people were waiting for.
Yeah, which was teased throughout the whole series, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's here, but fuck you."
Jenny chimed in with her top 5 because I'm guessing she didn't finish Moon Knight. That's the 6th one. So she goes 5 What If, 4 WandaVision, 3 Falcon, 2 Loki, and 1 Hawkeye. Nice. Oh. She's a big fan of the Reener. Having met him in person, as her husband and called him the wrong name. Justin Reener, I think it was. There's a whole episode named after it in our back catalog. Speaking of the Infinity Sage / saga, she spelled it Sage, so that's what I'm saying. Check out AtomicGeek.com. There are articles galore up there. There's also a fantastic video interview that Jenny performed. I don't know if it's really performed. It's completed. Conducted. That's the word. With Jonathan Mayberry, her favorite author in the whole wide worlds. And that went up this week, so you can catch that on our YouTube, also on AtomicGeek.com. Also, we have an interlude of revisiting the Infinity Saga. This is interlude number 1. It's defining moments of the MCU. There's a new one of them up there. An article about Strange New World Star Trek casting the first captain of the Enterprise. They did. A new Nick Gage article went up last week, and then a Jurassic World article went up, which I still have to read. From contributing writer to the website, Brandon T. McClure. I have to say it that way because it just sounds fancy. Fancy. No?
Very fancy.
Brandon T. And he goes on to talk about the Defenders in his interlude. Good stuff there. But yeah, check out that interview. Kagan the Damned is the book she read and interviewed Jonathan Mayberry about. AtomicGeek.com for all the articles and other podcasts that we have to offer you, including Two Broke Geeks and FBI's Most Unwanted, which is an X-Files rewatch podcast, which they're only on episode 77. How frequently does the show come out? April 27th was the last one? No, still pretty frequent.
So episode 77 of the whole show entirely?
Of their, yeah, that's the episode 77 of the series X-Files.
Okay, so they're it's third season, maybe.
I'm guessing that's what that means. Yeah, well, season usually episode 100 comes in your 5th season.
Yeah.
Midway through. Jenny said 6 is Moon Knight, but she really liked it. So,
Dang.
all right. Let us move on then to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This movie was surrounded with rumors and hearsay and lies. Let's just put it out there. Clickbaity lies. Tony Stark, not in the movie. Not one-armed Tony Stark, not the bodiless head of Tony Stark, not the AI version of Tony Stark. None of it.
Tom Cruise, though. Tom Cruise also in this movie.
Also not in this movie. So yeah, just get that crap out of your mind right now. It didn't need to be there either.
No.
What we got didn't need to be there. If I'm being perfectly honest, we didn't need new characters in this Multiverse of Madness. Would it have been fun to see a cameo of them flying through Deadpool's movie? No, it wouldn't have. I'm just gonna say it. It would have been forced and dumb. Would it have been fun to see them fly through Mustafar? No, it's a completely different property, and leave it alone. Yes, of course these things would have been fun. Would it have been fun to see them as cartoons running around in the What If universe? Yes, that'd have been cool too. But guess what? Go to Disney Plus. It's right there in the show called What If. That's what this whole thing is them traveling to different universes, watching what's happening in those different universes. We don't need our characters in our MCU interacting with them to have fun, right? No, we've got this cartoon and it's great, and they are interacting now. Those universes are mixing. We saw at the end of the last episode of What If, right? They kind of banded together to make this Watcher team, right?
Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah, that crap. So I just want to get that out right away. Theorizing and having fun with trailers and rumors and stuff like that is all good and well, but please, when you're talking about it on Twitter, like you think you know everything and you heard it from a TikTok, you're probably wrong. Or they were, and you heard bad information. This is why I think I might not watch a single trailer going forward about Thor. That the one I got is it. And it's got a great song in it. I'm glad I got to see it.
But you won't know if it could lead to this other Marvel movie.
Exactly. I don't need to be sitting here thinking, wait, was that that guy? Was that what? Oh, was that? No, I don't need to do that in the trailer right now. Derpy Gaming says best way I can describe this film is sweet dreams are made of cheese. I like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
You could take that comment a few different ways, especially if you're Reed Richards. Being turned into string cheese.
Oh yeah. Reed Richards also in this movie.
Let's real quick. Sorry, it's on the screen. I didn't announce it for the listeners. Spoilers for Doctor Strange. We're in it now. I want to say up front, I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. I said it's good. It's not great. It's fun. Not the best MCU film. Definitely not the worst. I've seen people. I guess the cliche is you either loved it or hated it, right? That's what I'm seeing a lot of on Twitter and TikTok is people wanted to walk out or I'll never watch this movie again or what were they thinking? And other people just loving it because it's Sam Raimi and all these other things. And because of that Illuminati cameo orgy that we got, the orgy of cameos, I should say. That sounded wrong for phrase that way.
We can take care of you 5 seconds later.
We could say what?
Well, yeah, we could take care of that little witch 5 seconds later.
Yeah. Okay. So let's address some of these problems and see if we have the answers to them, like everybody else is doing. Really quick, Derpy Gaming chimes in with it's a 7.5 out of 10. I appreciate that. That's all right. That's
where mine was.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Boy, did anybody watch Buffy? Anybody in the chat watch Buffy? who would win, Scarlet Witch or this?
Well,
This is Dark Willow from season 6 of Buffy.
probably.
And the only reason I bring it up is because it's sitting on my desk. I bought 2 of them by accident, and it's been open for like years. And anyway, that's just a question for you, chat. If you saw Buffy, you can answer that. If not, Dark Willow versus Scarlet Witch, who wins? It's Scarlet Witch easily. But anyway,
Scarlet. If now there's 2 versions of Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch with the Darkhold and Scarlet Witch.
Thank you, Jenny.
Without it.
Thank you, Jenny. Scarlet Witch wins according to Jenny. Jenny, did you see the movie? Let me ask her that before we continue. She might not care about spoilers, so she just might be along for the ride here. Okay. So yeah, we're all in agree on this show. We enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. I'm obviously, because I'm a completionist, going to buy it because it's got to be part of my set. I can't sleep at night.
Nope, I'm waiting or streaming, and spoilers don't bother me. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
You probably won't have to wait long to stream it. They're coming quicker and quicker these days.
I'd probably say July.
July. What was the most recent? What was the last one? Probably Batman.
Well, Batman is Warner Brothers is different with their streaming.
But that was quick.
That was
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what? The last one would have been Eternals, right? For Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't take long.
That came out in February, so November theatrical, February streaming.
Yeah, not long. Anyway, Derpy pulls the reverse card while Galactus disappeared. I guess we're just all screwed. There's nothing you can do at that point.
No.
All right. Let's see here. Where was it? Okay, so the issues with this movie. So just going on things I've read, things I've saw on TikTok, things I've seen from friends. One of the ones that's most loud and proud as far as things that are wrong with this movie is they loved the Illuminati scene, getting those reveals. They hated how quickly she dispatched of them.
Oh yeah.
Now, first, before I dig into that, you said something in the theater to me that I thought was weird, and I've heard it a couple times now, and that's that now that John Krasinski has appeared as Reed Richards in this movie, he likely will not be the MCU's Reed Richards. Why do you think that?
Why? Because this movie is a multiverse. You can have anyone show up and be a different character. Captain Marvel, for instance, was not Carol Danvers.
True, but it's not a different look. It's not a different looking Carol Danvers. It's a completely different person.
Correct.
That's a different timeline of events that happened to that character. So things that happened to Monica or Maria, or happened to Maria and not to Danvers. Yeah. But you look at Loki, and we have the different variants, including Sylvie. They all look different, or not all of them, but most. There's a freaking alligator. One of them's an alligator.
Yeah. I just think at this point it was a fan cast for John Krasinski to be Reed Richards. I liked him, but I don't, and I can still be wrong. I don't think he will be the MCU's Mr. Fantastic.
Then who is?
I would have.
He's got to be cast. He's got to be cast by now. If it's not him,
if it's not him, well, I mean they're going through director change, which I also heard a rumor that Bryce Dallas Howard might be directing that movie. But
I like that. I like that.
She's done great.
Especially if she's a fan. When she's a fan of the content, she performs very well. As we saw with Mandalorian.
Yeah. I enjoyed John Krasinski's performance as Reed Richards. He seemed like
there wasn't much to judge. I mean, let's be real here. There's not a lot to judge. Yeah, I mean, he understands art and nerdy. Person. Yeah. Sorry, we're talking over each other here. Yes, I mean, go up there, be a smart, older, nerdy guy that bends and stretches. Yeah. Okay, for 3 minutes. But he did have he acted. I mean, John Krasinski is an actor. He can act. We've seen it in Office. We've seen it in other things. Let's see. Derpy Gaming chiming in. The only satisfying part of this film is the cartoon theme from '90s show. That's it. We'll talk about that in a second when we talk about Xavier. Everything else was a letdown. There was so many possibilities they could have done with this, and it was just a complete letdown. I agree. The cameo was kind of a quick gloss over, but I feel like that's all it needed to be.
Hell,
I
Black
don't.
Bolt got the short end of the stick.
Let's really quick. We have not talked about it. The Illuminati, who it actually ended up being.
Mhm.
So from the trailer, we saw that it was going to be Mordo. We saw it would be Xavier.
And that's it. That's all that
That's
we knew.
really all we had confirmed, right?
We guessed. I think we guessed correctly on who it would be. Just
Aside, none of us guessed Black Bolt.
I guessed Black Bolt.
You did not.
I did. I'm pretty sure.
I think when we talked about the original members of the Illuminati, we brought him up.
I will go back and listen to it. And
All right.
if I'm wrong,
All right.
I will.
All right, that's your homework.
Do something legal on this.
So yeah, okay. So Captain Marvel is also one, but this is the Maria Rambeau version. So in this universe, this 828, I think it was
something like that.
I think it was 828 because it's the 616, and I think it was 828. The 828 universe, there was, at least we didn't see Tony Stark. Tony Stark didn't defeat Thanos. Doc Strange and the Illuminati. Oh, and their Doctor Strange was part of the Illuminati at one point
because he created the Illuminati.
Yes, he saw the need for them, and then they killed him. Well, Black Bolt killed him. Black Bolt is a member. Black Bolt, for those that don't know, is a member of the Inhumans. They are kind of an alien-human hybrid race of people who have an ability. If you saw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know a lot about the Inhumans. There's a whole lot of stuff about the Inhumans on there that made me very angry and bored. And then they had their own show on ABC, which did not last very long, but I enjoyed. A show with a lot of really good cast members, and they used a lot of good characters. They had the big giant dog. So, I mean, come on now. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great by any means. They tried really hard to make it Marvel's Game of Thrones, and it did not work. So yeah, that his power is that if he ever utters a word, it can destroy everything. Like it has the power. His voice has the ability to destroy everything. So he's basically cursed. He can't talk. And he kills Doctor Strange by saying, "I'm sorry for having to kill him." But so yeah, he's.
And I'm sorry, I don't know if you said it already.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it was played by Anson Mount, who
currently Captain Pike.
He had a good day on Thursday. He had the premiere of Stranger Worlds, and
surprise,
he's Black Bolt again. I'm like,
surprise! I'm in the biggest movie. I'm in the biggest movie of 2022.
Yeah. So,
yeah, and then Charles Xavier was confirmed in his yellow wheelchair, hover chair. Let's be real.
Suit.
And when and yes, he had the suit. It was with the white underneath, and everything was perfect. It even had the theme music, as Derby Gaming mentioned. Although when you watch the credits, it's credited as the X-Men 97 theme song, so it's actually been updated a little bit. I heard it too. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough where you hear it, you're like, yes.
Is it? Do they have the full one out?
I didn't see. I didn't look.
Okay.
I do know that Danny Elfman's score is available on Mondo for vinyl if you want to buy it, which I do not. I do still think I want the Batman on Mondo. So yeah. Derpy Gaming's honestly, fellas, I thought I watched CW's Crisis on Nerds on drugs with better editing and costumes. Like I said, sweet dreams are made of cheese. Yeah, if you want to do a good, if you want to watch a really good multiverse thing, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the CW's did it very well. That was a lot of fun, and the last night was big surprises when Grant Gustin met Ezra Miller.
Second to last night.
I don't care. But that I didn't see that coming. That blew me away, and that was a lot of fun. And now there's talk of Ezra being replaced. So maybe we'll see Grant Gustin on the big screen. I tend to doubt it. I think he's done with the character. Personally, him personally is done with the character. The kid that played Percy Jackson, I think was a name that's the front runner to replace Ezra. If they do replace him, I think that's who that was. And I'm okay with that. I think that works. But they do probably need to get Ezra out of there. he needs some time away for his own health. And then and then John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. That's your Illuminati. So by the time they get to 828, that's the thing I wanted to check. Let's see. Earth 838, excuse me. Earth 838. And Peggy Carter. We forgot about Captain Carter. She showed up. She's a member of the Illuminati as well. And she's the first Avenger, which makes sense. And of course, also Doctor Strange's love interest is there, and she works with them.
Did
Christine Palmer.
Reference? Did she say the Baxter Foundation?
No, Xavier did, I think.
Okay.
I think somebody did. Somebody mentioned the Baxter Foundation. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how they introduced him. They said the genius from the Baxter Foundation and founding member of the Fantastic Four.
He said, and the smartest man on the planet.
They said that. Yeah.
But no.
Yes, the Baxter Foundation was mentioned because that was the first key. Because then the joke got washed over. And let's clarify what this joke means. Okay, when Doctor Strange, when he hears them say the Fantastic Four, of course he's making a joke. It's a stupid name. So he's gonna make a joke. The Fantastic Four, did you guys chart in the 60s? That is a joke. It is not a hint that the Fantastic Four are from the 60s and they came back in time through a portal to our time. That's what's gonna happen in our MCU. No, it is a joke and a callback to Doctor Strange 1 when he would do surgery. Face. Yes, when he would do surgery, a thing for him to focus with was they would do musical trivia. They would play a record and he would say when that song charted, who wrote the song, and all that stuff. So that's what that was. And if you look it up, the Fantastic Four is a band. They charted in the 60s. Look it up. It has nothing to do with quantum travel, or the Fantastic Four might show up in Ant-Man. I don't know. But it has nothing to do with that joke. So get over it, TikTok. Your theories are dumb.
I didn't think it had anything to do with time travel.
No, I think didn't you reach over and ask me what was that joke? Because everybody was like gasping like teenage girls when they saw John Krasinski on the screen.
Yeah, which fine, because that was a great moment. That was probably the best moments of the movie.
No. It was a cool reveal, but it was not the best moment of the movie. It was a very cool reveal, which leads me to this other thing. The people complaining about the CGI. I'm going to swear, and I'm sorry for people that don't like swearing. Shut the fuck up. We take CGI for granted these days. The things that were done in this movie couldn't have been done 10 years ago.
No.
Maybe even five. You're watching people run through different universes being chased by squid monsters. Nothing's going to look perfect, but you're also de-aging people. You're also... half the people diving and jumping through those universes aren't people, they're CGI characters. How many times have you seen Tony Stark stand against a wall and then they remove the CGI and it's a cardboard cutout? It's not even a wall. But you thought they were standing in New York. Shut up. If the CGI is bad, you'll know it. It'll look like Sharknado. These movies, I mean, yes, sometimes they're cut for time and something is going to look bad. Obviously, that's going to happen. Sometimes things like that need to get cut because they are short for time and money. CGI budget is not cheap. But so many people, and I think this is a lot like stunt work, that gets overlooked and taken for granted. So let's ease off the CGI bashing for a while, especially the faces and stuff like that. Just stop. It's unnecessary. Did it take you out of the movie? Probably not. You probably still enjoyed it, and now you're just looking for a reason to not like the movie. Even if you like the movie, you're just looking for something to comment that you don't like because you think you're a movie reviewer on TikTok or Twitter or on a podcast on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. Hi, we're at Time of Geekdom. And I've been there as a writer trying to write a movie review for a website that I work for. I love this movie, but I can't just say good things. There's got to be bad things. So I had to think of something I didn't like, even though I love this movie. When I should have just wrote, I fucking love this movie. And while you might find problems with it, whoever you are, reader, I loved it. And that should be a thing with your reviews. I don't know why I'm berating people about reviews, but like like as if I'm a genius and I know everything about reviews. Have fun with your reviews. You are in that business because you love movies, right? You got into that because you love movies or because you wanted to get free movies. Either way, that's why I got into the high school newspapers, because I want to go see free movies and see free football games and stuff like that, and get on the field to take pictures. But like, you have a love for movies. That's why you're doing this. That's why you're seeing 100 movies a year or whatever it is, and reviewing every single one of them, and taking painstaking notes and going all these premieres and things like that. Like, because you love movies. So talk about what you love. And if you didn't like it, absolutely talk about what you didn't like and why you didn't like it. But also remember that the movie you hated, dozens of other people loved. For the same reason you love a movie that dozens of other people hated. Like, critics want to say that everyone needs to go watch fucking Casablanca. You don't. I mean, you just don't. You can if you want to. I did, and I felt like I had to as a movie fan. Okay, cool. Now I get a bunch of movie references or references from TV shows and stuff like that. That's cool. But like, anyway, all that aside, the CGI in this movie was fine. It was great. It was cool. Things looked great. Mr. Fantastic stuff looked better than it did in the TikTok stuff that was revealed when I thought it was fan made. Because that was spoiled for me the night before on TikTok, and I thought it was fan made because it looked awful. It looked better in the movie. Let's just put it that way. Again, he didn't do much, so let's talk about it. She killed all of them. It didn't take long. The two that took the longest for her to kill were Captain Carter and Captain Marvel, the two captains. And I guess Xavier was the last one, but that was because he was furthest away. And we don't know what happened to Mordo. He's still alive on that Earth, as far as we know. Maybe we'll have a clash of Mordos eventually when we get that fight, because that's coming. Yeah. Did they call him Baron?
Yeah, Baron Carl Mordo.
Yeah, they called him Baron in the movie. Yeah, good. And he did have the sword, which he should have, and they did tease the all-seeing face or whatever the thing is called. I can't remember, the three-face thing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe
it's teased when they're flying through the universes. I forget the name of it. If you remember in chat, I'll look it up in a second when I let Kyle talk, because I'm doing a lot of talking right now. What did you think about the fact that she eliminated this Illuminati rather effortlessly?
I was shocked. I was surprised, because I mean, they're supposed to be the best of the best, but with how OP Scarlet Witch got with the Darkhold and everything, it really was no contest. The way Black Bolt went out was great. I hated seeing Mr. Fantastic die the way he did. Captain Marvel was flattened by a statue, and Captain Carter she was sawed in half by her own shield.
Right.
And she could not, in fact, do this all day.
Right.
And then having Xavier go into the mind of Wanda and try to pull the quote unquote real one out, and then basically his astral form, and just having his neck snapped was crazy. And
that's tough.
It was tough, because it's like, oh no, Professor Xavier died again.
God damn it.
Yeah, I think I talked to, or I think I said to you on that day, I'm like, ooh, there's going to be a lot of angry people about Captain Carter's death and what they did with Scarlet Witch in terms of their characters. And I'm like, well, just think, that's not, well, technically she's not even our Captain Carter, because we don't have one. So
no, we don't have it. Yeah, you're right. You are correct, sir. Yeah, I mean, I think for as powerful as all of them were, and I don't know if you mentioned this, I might have missed you saying it.
Well,
they're all.
She also, I mean, at least in the comics, created an alternate reality. So yeah, of course she's powerful.
Right. If you become a Wanda fan because of these movies, and I don't blame you. Read House of M.
Mhm.
Even Elizabeth Olsen loves that book, and she
Read
never thought they'd go. She never thought that MCU would go this far.
Yeah. Read
Um,
Avengers Disassembled, then read House of M.
yeah. And then find out what happened to Wanda after House of M. She's so powerful in the comic books. She eliminated mutant kind.
Mm-hmm.
After her words, 3 words, there were no more new mutants. What was on Earth was all you got. So basically, she eliminated a race. Once they're dead, they're dead. There will be no more mutants. And I don't know if the offspring of mutants makes more mutants. I've never really understood that. I guess it does. I guess it's a possibility.
Because
I guess it's just a
I think
chance.
Hope was the first
Mutant born of 2 mutants,
or not of 2 mutants, but the first one born since M Day.
Yeah, I don't know. We're getting too far into things. Sidetracky things. But like, she's extremely powerful, and I think we're at a point with this Illuminati where they're cocky.
Mm-hmm.
That will take care of your witch problem. They had no idea what they were in for, because on their world, whether they know her or not, and it seemed like Xavier might have known her a little bit, known of her.
It seemed like Reed knew of her a little bit.
Perhaps, we don't know. We have no idea, and maybe we'll find out in an interview or something with Kevin Feige. But like, their Wanda is just this house mom that maybe has mutant powers, and that's it. She got 2 kids. She lives in a subdivision, and blah 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 blah. She has 2 actual kids. They had no idea what they're in for. We faced Thanos and we beat him, so we're gonna be fine. Wrong. Again, you're going against something that could have killed Thanos by herself, alone. So yeah, there's that, and I think they're old. Just because time moves I think time moves differently in these universes. We've seen it. We've seen old Loki. So this is an older version. That was an older Mr. Fantastic. That he's aged. That's not what John Krasinski looks like in real life. They aged him, and of course Xavier is old. Black Bolt, I don't know. He looked like he always does.
He had the full costume, and that's all I cared about.
Little forks on his head, little tuning fork on his head, and everything. Captain Carter probably doesn't age because she's Captain Carter and she's got the serum flowing through her. But I mean, they're older. Let's just put it that way. So they're tired, they're beat up, all these things, and they just didn't know it. So I believe it. I totally believe it. Now, also, did what she did in this movie, Wanda, effectively destroy her arc in WandaVision? So WandaVision happened because of her grief over Vision. And then she created 2 children to hang on to that life. She created them. They're not real. Yes, she brought them into being, but they are not real. They're very real to her. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not belittling her love for 2 fictional things that she created that she loves with all her heart. I get it. She also created Vision in that world too, who was not real. It was just his dead body. So like, she put those people through hell. They were not happy. And you saw it when the real person came through every so often, when Vision ran into one, and that kind of thing. It was not a good thing that they were under her control. And then she loses her children and she wants them back. But in order to get them back, and while she does understand and she saw what she was getting into through Agatha, and she fought off Agatha and she realized what she did was wrong and all that. Yep, we're going to do the little dance in the song. But now after this, can you imagine the scene between those 2, Scarlet Witch and Agatha? Like, I told you, it's gonna, there's gonna be that showdown in Agatha's show, I think, for sure.
Yeah, because spoilers to jump ahead, there was at Scarlet Witch's demise, there was a flash of red that you saw.
Mhm.
I don't think she's dead. I think she
Uh,
teleports.
Comic book movie, guys. She ain't dead. There's no
Nope.
way they're gonna end her story that way. And I've told this to a few people, and I might have even told you, if done correctly, and I think they're on the path to do it. Scarlet Witch's story, when this is all said and done, will be the best story the MCU has told from a character point. She will have the best character arc they've ever done, start to finish. Like, you think about all the loss she's had since she was a child to now, and the arc she's going to have after to rebuild her life and make up for what she's done. Now, let's be clear. The things she did in this movie, yes, she did it for her children. That's how it started. But the Darkhold had control of her. And yes, she allowed herself to be controlled by a Darkhold. But once you're in the grip of the Darkhold and Cthulhu, or whatever that guy's name is, not Cthulhu, but Catan, I think, the creator of the Darkhold, it would have been cool to see a scene of maybe like a voice talking in her ear like she did to other people, of his voice or something like that. Because that place where they were, Wonderguard, that's his sanctum or his sanctuary or whatever. That was where he made the book, and then of course there's other copies of the book. We've seen that, and that's why all you people from that want to talk about Agents of Shield said the cover of the book was different in the movie than it was in here.
It makes more sense.
There's other copies, yeah.
Plus Runaways.
And Runaways, yeah. There's 3 different books, yeah. And in a universe that is connected.
Yeah.
Let's be done with this talk now.
And also, I mean, the creator of the Darkhold, the minions that were around
look like him.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. Upon like then finding out more about it, like, oh, that's great. Have that in there. So, and also, I mean, also, you also saw like the Scarlet Witch on the background of the palace, and you also saw Billy on there too, which is interesting.
Yep. The sweeter of the boys, basically.
Yeah, but you didn't see the other one, but that's only because Billy's Wiccan.
That's right. He's the one with the magic power. Also, if at any time Reed Richards' children had showed up in this movie, fight over Scarlet Witch loses.
Oh, definitely. Just take them all to the negative zone, and then done.
It's over.
She can't get out.
Let's just throw that out there. We're not getting into the Children of the Fantastic Four yet. We haven't gotten to the Fantastic Four, but they did get brought up, kind of. So,
yeah, I really wish there was like a Sue name drop or something.
The Living Tribunal was what I was trying to think of before.
Okay, yes, they mentioned it in the first Doctor Strange.
And then, Wong, or not Wong, but Mordo has their sword.
Yeah,
this sword of the Tribunal or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Anyway. I wanted to make mention too of something Xavier says that is actually something Xavier has said twice before.
Yes. Yes.
So Xavier makes
it the first time either.
Right. Xavier makes mention of this. He says this quote in Days of Future Past. And in Days of Future Past, the first time he says it, he's talking about not only Wolverine, but he's also talking about himself, Xavier, young Xavier. Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, it doesn't mean they're lost forever. And he's telling this to Mordo. When Mordo is talking to him about how Strange needs to die. And what he's saying when then young Xavier says this later again to like his X-Men and Wolverine as well, I think. Or about Mystique. Sorry, this time it's about Raven. But when Xavier says it to Mordo, he's saying about not only Doctor Strange, but in for us, it's also for Wanda. When someone stumbles, loses their way, doesn't mean they're lost forever. He realized it at that point. If he didn't know it already, he realized at that point that they were wrong. And then Mordo and Strange have their big moat fight. The weirdest place for a moat, and the design of that room is just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, just having the Illuminati above everyone else is kind of ridiculous. I would have rather had them around a table.
Yeah. It was cool when Xavier goes into her mind. You see the red TV that was in the show when she's watching TV with Pietro and her family before the bombs hit. It's a little red tube TV, and that's what's playing outside the door. Yeah, I mean that's just cool moments. Is all I'm saying. All right, and let's talk about another good thing. America Chavez.
Freaking great.
A great introduction. She got a lot of good time. We got to know the character really well. Good introductions to a new character, new powers and stuff like that. And it's gonna be fun to see where she goes from here. What do you think?
I really enjoyed her character. I enjoyed that she loves pizza. It's
I mean, who
great.
doesn't? Who doesn't?
I mean, yeah, who doesn't? Pizza balls, just anywhere in the universe, it's a constant is pizza, and that's all that matters. Money,
Yeah.
on the other hand, may or may not be a constant on every universe that you go to.
No, not at all, apparently. Led to another great cameo, Bruce
Oh,
Campbell.
yeah,
Um,
I'm really glad that he was in there. I
it
kind
was
of
a
want
cool
to go.
nod.
Mhm.
It's a cool nod to Sam Raimi's past, and of course, his work with Bruce Campbell and the cameos that Bruce Campbell had in Spider-Man, all three of them. But it also is a cool nod to Army of Darkness when he has to fight himself. And,
Yeah,
he's got little mini versions of himself punching him and stuff like that. It felt a lot like that, and it felt a lot like Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. It was just a cool moment, and I liked that was how we ended the movie because the movie kind of ends pretty sad. It ends on a high note, true, but it's a dark turn for the MCU for the remaining Avengers. Like Doctor Strange now has to go and tell all the other Avengers, "Hey, guess what? Scarlet Witch is dead, and this is what happened." Or does he even tell them? Like who knows? Maybe him and Mordo or him and Wong kind of keep it to themselves because really they don't
the
need to
only
tell anybody.
I mean, because
Unless somebody comes around looking for her, which is possible because she's
Vision.
Yeah, you got White Vision out there.
Yeah, which where was he?
Who cares?
Was Vision destined to die in every single universe? Is a question
Then
that we
there,
can
yeah.
ask and answer at a different point. Is he a fixed
I
point
say
in
yes.
every universe?
I say yes because it's a point of Thanos's line. I think Thanos gets that far because Vision's created with one of the stones. I think in every universe we have to assume. I think we're forced to assume. Also, credits to Ross Marquand, who took over as Red Skull in Endgame and Infinity War. He's from Walking Dead. He does a lot of voice acting. He does a lot of impressions. Is the voice of Ultron in this movie, of the Ultron bots.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he came back and did some work as a James Spader impression, basically.
It was not a good James Spader impression. Have you seen Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon?
No, I hated the Marvel cartoon movies. They're nothing as good as the DC ones.
It was a TV show, cartoon show.
Oh, no.
It's on Disney Plus. It sounded like that version of Ultron.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I didn't know it was him. But yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else aside from the credit scene, which we're going to talk about in 1 second before we wrap up? Anything else from the movie you want to talk about?
Yeah, Dave, are you happy?
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's the thing that didn't need to happen in this movie.
3 times. 3 times. It did not need to happen 3 times.
Yeah. Steven, are you happy?
Things happen.
Clearly he's not.
No.
I mean, his lady is marrying another man.
He was now for 5 years. He's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore.
Right. Yeah, he's just kind of this dude hanging out in this house. But by the end of the movie, he just goes for a walk. And yeah, that's cool. Something we didn't mention is for a long time, people were saying that this was not Earth 616, even though there were Easter eggs all over the place in movies saying that this was. A lot of people were saying it's Earth 1999, all these different things. I personally don't care what they designate this Earth, but
I care.
Earth 838 at least designates this Earth, the MCU Earth, as 616. Now, what does that mean for anybody that doesn't read comics? Earth 616 is the main Marvel universe of the comic books. That's where when anybody else from another universe comes in or there's a what if storyline, they're not part of the 616. They're visiting from a different universe, or Age of Apocalypse is not 616. It's an alternate reality. It's the Ultimates universe is not Earth 616. and that's technically the Gambit we got in Wolverine Origins is the Ultimates version of Gambit, technically. If you want to, break it down that way. But yeah, so that's what that means. It's just the main comic book universe in the multiverse of Earths is the 616. And now we've got confirmation that at least one universe in the multiverse designates this universe, the MCU, as the 616. Eruption of cheers, or in my case, I said, oh shit, okay, whatever. I really don't care.
Yeah, mine was,
Why?
how are they doing that? That can't be right. That's the comics. What? You can't do that. And then I just let it go because Reed Richards was on screen.
Jesus. All right. So that was the last thing in the movie. And so our credit scene, what does it mean? We get a woman with a lot of makeup on, who appears from the dark dimension that is clearly a dark dimension where our old friend Dormammu hangs out. Coming in and saying she needs Stephen Strange's help because he has caused an incursion. And then poof, he goes along with her. That character's name is
Clea, the
played
future
by
wife.
Charlize Theron, and yes, she is the future Mrs. Strange and future Sorcerer Supreme as well. So I think we're gonna get Doctor Strange moving on in his love life in the next time we see him. Also, I think we're heading towards a Secret Wars type storyline.
With how this movie ended, yes, I think so. Or something
Whether it's
on that nature.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's Secret Wars completely, probably not. You know how these things go with the MCU. It's inspired by the storyline.
The more recent Secret Wars from like 2015, not the one that had the black suit Spider-Man.
Right. The original Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, that leads my final question for you is are you like a lot of people who were given a hand to hold and walk them through as to where we're going next in phases 1, 2, and 3? We're going towards Thanos. That's where we're going. We were told that pretty much from the start, right? That's what we haven't been told much of anything right now, other than we know, if you watch the shows and you know who the villain of Ant-Man is, that there's one particular character that is above all the rest of them right now. And we're leading towards him, right? Kang the Conqueror. Whether he's the next Thanos or not, we don't know. Or we might not have a next Thanos. We could have smaller Thanoses on the way to something different. Think of this universe like comic books coming out. They don't all need to lead to one giant event like Endgame and Infinity War. It's cool when they do, but we cannot expect that every single time over a span of, what was it, 10 years, 12 years?
10 years.
Like, so, and maybe they will. And I think I know they have a plan. They have a direction. But I'm seeing a lot of these fans that became fans of these characters from the movies thinking that they're directionless right now, that they don't know where they're going because they don't know where they're going. The fans don't know because we haven't seen or mention of Thanos or Infinity Stone or this or that. It's things that they don't understand yet because we're digging deeper in the comic book well now because we have to for source material.
So the first movies leading up to Avengers, there was no.
I hope that sounded as pretentious as it made me feel when I'm moving my hand and stuff like that. I felt very pretentious and dickish. Go ahead.
The first phase, aside from which led up to the Avengers, there was no overarching bad guy. It wasn't until the end of Avengers, at the end of phase 1, where we had Thanos be a threat. And then it wasn't until we got into phase 2 and then into phase 3 where we saw Thanos even more. So this could be another 3-phase setup for the next big bad, which could lead to Secret Wars. Because we still have Fantastic Four, we have Blade, we have mutants coming into the MCU. And Namor. We have Namor might be showing up in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So we still have a lot of characters and a lot of things that could that's need to be I think need to be introduced before we get like Secret Wars to be the big event slash villain.
We just look ahead. July we have Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. So this year alone we have 2 more movies. We have Thor: Love and Thunder and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That's in November. If everything stays the way it's supposed to, we should say. And then next year, this is the end of Phase 4 is next year. Ant-Man and the Wasp in February, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in May, and then the Marvels in July, and then finally in development right now is Fantastic Four. Post-production, everything else is in post-production except for the Marvels, which is filming right now, and then Fantastic Four is in development, which means you'll probably start getting casting news soon. I mean, you might already have heard of one, potentially, if it stays the way I think it will. But will he? Okay. Whether he plays him or not, does John Krasinski direct the movie?
This goes along with this rumor that I saw about Bryce Dallas Howard. Is that
I don't want her. As much as I love her, I don't want her in the movie.
That was the rumor too. Is that she would be directing and in the film as well as Sue.
I don't see her as Sue. I saw her as Carol. For a little while.
Is that Ben? Who's Carol?
Carol Danvers.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
If John Krasinski is Reed Richards, I want him to be Reed Richards first, then have him direct a movie. I would want him to. I would want him to have
focus on the character.
Focus on the character, and then I can direct either the next Fantastic Four film or direct another Marvel movie. We know he can direct,
right? Which maybe he cameos in or something as Reed.
We know he can direct. I have no doubt that he can't direct. But for something this big, I would like his focus to be just on acting.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I want him to be in the role. I want him to build that family together. I want them to vibe first, and then let him be the director, because you never know what's going to happen with the director and their cast. There might be some friction there, and you don't want that with these 4. They need to vibe in a certain, very particular way. So yeah. All right, that's going to do it for our review, I think, unless there's anything else you wanted to add.
The very last post-credit scene is a joke. It's funny. It's just Bruce Campbell hitting himself.
And then an ending. And then before it ends, he says, "It's finally over."
It was this one? Yeah, so it wasn't the arm that he cut off in Evil Dead, which I think would have been more funny. It was funnier. But yes, then he's like, "It's over," and then it's just black. But yeah, I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed what we got out of it.
It'd be interesting to know, listeners, if you saw the movie and you didn't know who that guy was. I'd like to. This is just an age thing. If you didn't know who that guy was, the hot dog vendor who's hitting himself in the face over and over again, why so many people in the theater may or may not have laughed, or said, "Oh," or like that kind of reaction. Let us know at Atomic Geekdom on Twitter.
I want to go back into the movie and I want to pay close attention to all the cars. I want to see the car
that's in Spider-Man and
that's in all of his movies.
Yeah,
I'm sure he had to put it in there, maybe digitally, but
it could be somewhere in the streets of New York that they're running around through. Also, hey, for all the multiverse jumping, we really only live in 2 multi-universes for this movie.
Yeah, I'd say
you're starting in what's the third?
The main one, the 616.
That's the one I'm counting. I'm counting 616, 838. You're barely in. Go ahead.
The sinister, strange one.
You're barely there. You're there in the beginning, and that's it.
Still there. No. The one.
Right. At the end of the movie. Yeah. Okay, so 3. Maybe 2.5.
But yeah, I mean, they do hop between universes.
Right. But you're only spending time in about 2.5 universes. But all right, so those were our thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, hey, it's not your movie. Maybe you'll get the next one. And like right now, where I'm sitting, I have really no interest in the Miss Marvel series. I may wait a while before I start watching it. I might just start watching it just because it's content. And I want it. But at the same time, Obi-Wan will be on, so it's not going to be one that I get up at 2 a.m. to watch like I used to. I'll wait till later in the day to watch it, but I'm just not excited for it, and that's okay. I hope it's a good show. I hope it does well. But it's not for me. It's for younger people. It's a high school show with superheroes. So, and I hope it does well. I hope it does very well, actually, because I want the Marvels to do well. So, and she's going to be a big part of that. So, yeah. So that's what's next for Marvel is Miss Marvel, and then of course Thor. So there's that. Next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Jurassic Park is coming up soon. Probably do a geek out, talk about things that we've been doing and reading and stuff like that. Get us ready for. There's an interview that we have coming up with Jenny and I about a book that's coming out soon, which I need to finish.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to plug this, but I saw Jenny and Matt do an interview.
I already plugged it.
Okay.
I talked about it for a long time, actually. I don't know where you went. But,
I went to a different universe.
But head to atomicgeekdom.com. The interview is up there. It's also on our YouTube page, youtube.com/atomicgeekdom. Interview with Jonathan Mayberry is up there. And I don't think it's Justin. I think it's Matt.
Did I? Okay.
I don't think Justin reads books without pictures. That is at least. So I think it was with Matt, if not just Jenny. But yeah, that interview is up. It's a great interview, great book series. I'm told. I have not read it, but she adores it, and she got Matt addicted to it. So it must be good if 2 people like it. That's our show this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, all we ask is tell a friend. Subscribe, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us live. I promoted those already too, Jenny. The Nick Gage and Infinity articles, I promoted all of those. I went down a whole list of them. Anyway, where was I? Yes. We go live when we do these recordings. We have a lot of fun. We love interacting with you guys when you're here. Derpy Gaming, thanks for joining us. Really appreciated that. Hope you took a time and chance to thumb up the video and then maybe subscribe to us on YouTube. That'd be great. Twitch, follow us on Twitch. That's cool too. When we're live, we tweet it. So follow us on Twitter at Atomic Geekdom. Like I say, if you follow and subscribe on both those platforms or Facebook, you'll be notified when we go live. It just pops up, tells you, hey, we're live. Like Jenny's watching us on Facebook. Derpy was watching us on YouTube. And we can see your comments, so you can join the conversation. It's always fun having you guys along for the ride, making jokes, telling us when we're wrong. That's always fun. Chiming in when we're trying to think of something and not taking the time to Google it and just trying to think of it, because we need to work our brains out. Like we need to work our bodies out. Our brains are failing us, people, and our memories. Look at Kyle. He's just in his zone somewhere. He's not even here. He's not even listening.
AutoZone.
Not that zone. All right. Jenny, Derpy, thanks so much for stopping by. Kyle, thanks for hanging out and talking about this movie.
Hey,
hopefully the volume was good for your ears, folks. And yeah, I need to eat. I'm starving. So we're gonna go now. We will see you next week. Everybody, take care of each other. Be good. Be nice. Happy belated Mother's Day to all you mothers, including you, Scarlet Witch, including you. You mother. Get it? Get it?
I got it.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, mommy.
Oh, why'd you make it dirty?